So an American, a Dutchman, and a German walk into a bar and find a bunch of Milan fans crying as they mourn the retirement of an icon, the shameless sacking of a club legend, and the loss of their two best midfielders from the last few seasons. They're drowning in anxiety, overwhelmed by the idea that this upcoming campaign is already over, until the season actually starts and they realize that the three men that walked into the bar might just be the start of something new, and have given them a reason to be excited again. And that first reason is the American. At the age of 17, Christian Pulisic bursts onto the scene as Borussia Dortmund's latest wonder boy. His atmospheric rise earned him a £70 million move to Chelsea, but despite winning a European Cup as a Blue, consistent injury trouble and inconsistent form meant that the LeBron James of soccer was deemed a failure in England. Amazing performances for the US men's national team and his relatively young age, however, was enough for the Rossoneri to take a chance on the American, as they signed the 24-year-old for just €20 million this summer, a transfer that took less than half an hour to justify itself, as Pulisic scored his first goal just 22 minutes into his Serie A debut to cap off a man-of-the-match performance against Bologna. Captain America had arrived in Italy and would continue his run of form the very next week, scoring again in Milan's 4-1 mauling of Torino, in a performance that saw him register 37 touches, complete 96% of his passes, and play all 90 minutes. A 2-1 victory against Roma the week after saw Pulisic land the spotlight to a Rafael Leao bicycle kick, before reclaiming it again after being named AC Milan's MVP for August, a month that saw him score 2 goals in 3 games, complete 89% of his passes, and nail 80% of his shots on target. Production that's earned him a spot on the right side of Stefano Pioli's 4-3-3, where he'll look to take the pressure off star man Rafael Leao on the left, while continuing to cross the ball to ageist wonder Olivier Giroud up top. Christian's former Chelsea teammate is doing his best Benjamin Button impression this season, amassing 4 goals and 1 assist in just 3 games, as the 36-year-old is currently tied with Lautaro Martinez for most goal contributions in the league so far. But the former Chelsea connection doesn't stop there, as we venture into midfield and find Ruben Loftus-Cheek. While the 27-year-old was a Premier League player for 9 seasons, he spent a majority of that time on the injury report. But like Pulisic, Cheek's technical ability never wavered, as the 6'3" giant somehow glides through defenders gracefully when given the chance, racking up impressive percentiles with regards to possession metrics, which was enough to see him join the new Milan project for a fee of €15 million, which was an absolute bargain, considering he's already registered an assist and has played in 75% of Milan's league minutes so far. But while Ruben is definitely a part of this new look Milan, he's not the midfielder that fans should be the most excited for. That would be our Dutchman from the bar, Tijjani Reijnders. The 24-year-old made a reputation for himself at AZ Alkmaar as one of the Eredivisie's most proficient and patient ball carriers, with elite percentiles for carrying stats outside the Big 5 leagues as proof of that. But aside from his great dribbling, Reijnders is also a dangerous creator, as he registered 3 goals and 6 assists in the Eredivisie last season, in addition to leading his team in shot-creating actions by a margin of almost 100%. And speaking of leading the team, Tijjani also played in the most league minutes, attempted the most take-ons, and intercepted the most passes. He's the jack-of-all-trades Milan signed to replace fan-favorite Sandro Tonali, and considering he's already nabbed an assist and has played in every one of Milan's possible league minutes so far, I'd say he's off to a dream start, especially since he only cost the Rossoneri €20 million. He fits right into Milan's moneyball midfield, with their final underrated gem Rade Krunic completing the trio. The Bosnian endeared himself to fans last season after exceptional performances in a Champions League campaign that saw Milan make the semifinals. He was replacing Ismail Benacer, however, who probably won't recover from knee surgery until sometime next year, which means Krunic is now the leader of the new midfield. He sits at the base of the 4-3-3 and protects a back 4 that consists of club captain and defensive stalwart David Calabria, the rapid tackling specialist Fikayo Tomori, and arguably the best left-back in the world, Theo Hernandez. But those defenders have been in Milan for several seasons already, which means it's time to meet the final piece of Milan's new era, the German from the bar, young center-back Malick Thiaw. He was signed from Schalke last summer and spent the first half of the season learning from veterans like Simon Kjær, before ultimately nailing a starting role in the middle of February. At 6'4", he offers the size and strength that Tomori and Pierre Kalulu don't quite bring to the table, as he consistently dominates attackers in the air while simultaneously maturing into one of Europe's most promising tacklers, as evident by Thiaw's exceptional percentiles for tackles won and successful aerial duels. But that's not to say he's useless on offense. In fact, Pioli's 4-3-3 can change into a 3-4-3 rather quickly, as he drops Krunic between the center backs, pushes Reijnders and Ruben up higher, and inverts both Theo and Calabria into midfield, leaving Thiaw in charge of building a play on Milan's right-hand side, a responsibility the youngster has built built for, as demonstrated by his excellent passing percentiles across Europe's top 5 leagues. And with world-class goalkeeper Mike Maignan covering his back, the Rossoneri look as exciting as ever, and that's without even mentioning other new signings, like dangerous Nigerian winger Samuel Chukwueze, who they signed from Villarreal, or the latest speedy Salzburg striker Noah Okafor, and promising American midfielder Yunus Musa. The new Milan project has gotten off to the best possible start, and if they keep this up, they might actually turn a club we thought was in crisis into a legitimate contender for the Scudetto. If you liked today's video, go ahead and watch another. As always, I'm Andy, first team all sideline.